We have now reached the end of the game that we looked into in the previous video, and this is the final result I got. I'm not particularly happy about the result. I have a bunch of stakeholders in the highest level of resistance, but I don't have any more hours left, and I'm at the end of the third chapter. So all there's left to do now is hit the continue button. That takes me to a rating system where I can rate how interesting did I find the game to be. And after that, we reach the profile section. So in here, players can actually see what types of options they have selected all throughout the game. So all of the active games are bound to a specific set of theories that we measure people on when they play through the game. The theories are helping inform us about what should the movement patterns look like, but of course they also help us identify what types of actions are available in this framework that we used. The profile section looks like this. The first box here tells me something about how well did I do in points compared to other players. I'm in the top 60% with this playthrough for all the players. And up here, I can look into what types of data am I comparing myself to. We also have an AI feature here. So the system will draw out some points that are relevant to be discussing or reflect on for the players, and you can chat here. So the system tells me, for an example, that I performed strongly this session with a steady mix of progress across leadership and change elements. Notably, your engagement in reducing resistance sits around 52% of your focus, while people competence in leverage shows a solid 50% emphasis in the moment. If I have any questions for the feedback that I get here, I can just put it down here. So I can ask if it thinks I would be a good leader. And it kind of agrees with me. It thinks that I could be. And if we scroll down just a little bit from here, we can then see all the different models that we use to inform us about this game, the models that were used as a foundation to create the game itself. So first we have the resistance movement. This is based on Rick Morris, the cycle of change and resistance towards change. So I see here that I've reduced resistance 52% of my choices all throughout this game. I've created resistance about 48% of the times I selected an option, and I think that's a good distribution, at least from a theoretical angle. We can also check out the Levitt model for an example. So here we have the distribution of these 4 elements in his diamond model. And if we go to the Cotter theory, we can then see which of these steps in his change model have I prioritized throughout the game. So I see I didn't manage to create a lot of sense of urgency. It sits at 0%, so no options selected from this category. And we generally tend to say that the players should have all of them represented when they play through the game to be successful. If I would like to read a little bit more about each of these, I can go down here and check out the different steps of the model. So if I want to look into the consolidate gains step, I can read a description right here. I can see what are the positive effects of focusing on consolidating gains, but also if my focus is too great on this particular step, what might happen then? So the profile tool gives you some valuable insights as to what types of decisions have you selected all throughout your game, distributed over the different theory layers that we use to create the game in the first place. I invite you to go in and check out your profile from the latest played game that you have in this system.